In the Big 12, Houston reigns supreme once again, 73-64. And with this win, they clinch the outright Big 12 regular season title for the second year in a row. Kelvin Sampson and the Cougars getting it done defensively, holding Cincinnati to 64 points. A game in which they turned over Cincinnati 11 times, scoring 17 points off of those. And look, Houston is a team that can certainly compete and win it all come Selection Sunday on the one line. And for more, let's get right to the site. Welcoming two-time national champ and CBS Sports college basketball analyst Jay Wright. Jay, good to be with you here. When you watch this Houston team, defensively, it is absolutely a gauntlet to try to face them. What stands out to you, being a former head coach, winning two national champions, about this Cougar squad?
Watching them in games on TV and on film is one thing, but being here live and seeing the intensity of their defense, and to see guys like Wilson come off the bench, Arsenault to come off the bench defensively, to add to Tugler and Roberts and what those guys can do, it's incredible. They only made 1 3 in the first half and had a big lead at halftime, and they're the best three-point shooting team. Their defense just carried them.
When you look at this Houston roster, a lot of people would argue they're good enough to cut down the nets in San Antonio. Would you argue that same sentiment?
I definitely would argue that sentiment. I think this is the best roster that Kelvin's had, and we played against them in 22, and they had a great roster on that team. But and he won't say it, but I think he feels that also, because you got guys like Javier Francis, who started last year on a Big 12 championship team. He's coming off the bench. Arsenault's coming off the bench. Malik Wilson, a fifth-year senior, coming off the bench to add to those starters that they have. This is an incredible bench. If they stay healthy, I really believe these guys can win it.
Back-to-back Big 12 champions as they beat Cincinnati on CBS. Jay Wright here taking some time for us on CBS Sports HQ. Jay, thank you.
Great being with you.
Appreciate Jay Wright stopping by here on HQ as Houston on the one line. And take a look at winning the regular season title in their first 2 years in a new major conference, joining Idaho back in the 1920s in the Pacific Coast Conference. That conference is no longer around. I'm sure you know that. Big 12 is been really tough. Not as strong this season, but still the gauntlet that Houston has had to go through to win another regular season title. They have won 8 straight since their overtime loss to Texas Tech. They've now won 12 in a row against Cincinnati, and once again, they are Big 12 regular season champions.